Today I wanted to talk about self-sabotage. Why do we do it? And then what do we do to work to let go of it? So the first thing to look at is the role that competing beliefs have in creating discomfort or cognitive dissonance. So if we have part of us, I'll use an example for self-sabotage. Let's say that part of me is very driven. Part of me wants to see myself succeed. Part of me wants to have other people be proud of me. And so I move towards whatever that looks like, having a good job, having a good relationship, going back to school, you fill in the blank. So when I start to do this, so I finally land the job that I've wanted or think would, make me happy, or I find that person that I've been looking for, what starts to happen now, so we have this wish on one side, and then on this side, I have my deeply held core beliefs about myself. So let's say that from my early life, I was told that I would be a failure, or I felt rejected, or I felt like I didn't belong. This is going to start to activate. And once this activates, there starts a level of anxiety or discomfort, this cognitive dissonance, this inner pain that starts. Partially because one of my beliefs is that ultimately, this part, ultimately, the other shoe will drop and I will be humiliated, rejected, abandoned, become a failure, whatever the case is. Now, as time goes on, this becomes more and more uncomfortable. It can actually become destabilizing. It can become you can't handle it. So this is where self-sabotage comes in. So if my core belief is that I will always be abandoned, I will always fail, I will always be humiliated, then at some point, if if I, and this could be conscious or unconscious, if I sabotage the situation, I get relief from this difficult feeling. And that makes sense. Of course, this creates long term impacts because maybe I never move into the life that I've wanted, or maybe I destroy a really good relationship that I see in hindsight. Why did I do that? But that's one of the functions of self sabotage. So, who has a propensity towards self sabotage? The first is people with poor self esteem, with deeply held core beliefs that are painful. This is going to be a fuel for self sabotage. It can also be people who procrastinate and who are perfectionists. So oftentimes, people who procrastinate are perfectionists, and that's why they procrastinate. Because they can't just enjoy the process and try and be okay with, maybe failing. They have to do it perfectly, which is quite a lot of pressure, quite a lot of energy. So they feel overwhelmed by the idea of moving forward or living the life that they want. So they put things off until it becomes so necessary to address it that it's overwhelming and then they just give up or they sabotage the situation. So if you find yourself in this pattern of self-sabotage, these would be the things that you'd want to look at: processing core beliefs, working on your self-esteem, working on your procrastination, and addressing your perfectionism. So thank you.